Emma, a girl who loves magical towns and mysterious places, was determined to discover a secret place every Halloween night this year. He decided to continue his adventure in a place he hadn't heard of before, the night library. The library was known as a building in the center of the town, which had been closed for many years, and even the light did not enter. According to the stories, it was said that strange sounds and ghosts were walking around in it. Emma decided to go into this scary place and find out the truth. On Halloween night, Emma encountered a dark atmosphere. When she entered the library, there was no lighting. There were only bookshelves lit by crackling candles. The silence around him was eerie. While wandering around the library, he found several strange books. These books contained mysterious information about the history of the town and attracted Emma's attention. But with these books, he began to feel the presence of ghosts. He felt invisible hands touching his skin and strange voices whispering in his ear. While studying a book, he suddenly noticed that something had drawn his eyes. The pages of the book were turning on their own, and a black magic story was emerging that told the history of the old town. Emma, reading the story, felt that the ghost of an ancient sorcerer who had taken over her soul was watching her while trying to escape from the library in a panic. He got caught in a large spider web covering the ceiling while Emma was fluttering and shouting. The ghost wizard approached her. The ghost wizard, by offering her a cursed wish, wanted to take her soul into captivity forever. With a final effort, Emma reversed the wizard's words and applied the curse to herself. This caused the ghost wizard to suddenly disappear, and Emma managed to escape from the library. Survivor Emma had revealed the dark secrets of the night library, but now she had become another mystery of this town. Emma did not tell anyone about her terrible experiences that night, and only she knew about the curse behind the closed doors of the library. Once upon a time, on the banks of the deep forests of a small village, Halloween night, a night full of fear and mystery, was about to begin. In this village, people traditionally believed that amazing things would happen every year on moonlight and Halloween. But this year, something was different in the village. The young people of the village decided to light a fire around the Moonlight Lake. According to stories, the water of Moonlight Lake had a magical power on this special night, and it was said that it could make people's wishes come true. But the fulfillment of wishes would come at a dangerous price. As the young people were sitting around the fire, the surface of the lake began to glow strangely. All the magic of the Moonlight Lake spread around during the night. One of the young men, gathering courage, expressed his wish. "Give me infinite wisdom." Silence reigned for a moment. Then, a strange laughter was heard from the depths of the forest. The young people turned around in fear and saw a female figure emerging from the bottom of the lake's waters. The witch said a magic that showed that the young man's eyes were getting brighter and he was slowly aging. The young man had been punished with eternal wisdom, eternal old age, and mortality. The other young people tried to run away screaming, but other witches caught them too and cursed them at the cost of their own wishes. The people in the village went to look for the missing youths and witches, but they could not find any of them. Moonlight Lake was now cursed, and every moonlight and Halloween, A terrible exchange took place decently between the village's young people and witches. After that day, the village people stayed away from Moonlight Lake every year on Moonlight and Halloween. The strange exchange that took place decently between the witches and the young people remain as a fearful memory to the people in the village, and the waters of the Moonlight Lake were getting brighter and brighter on Halloween night, reviving the village's fears. Meredith moved into an old, abandoned house in a small town. This house was known as the most feared place in the village, where no one had lived for many years. However, Meredith had moved into the house because she considered the stories circulating about this house to be just scary fairy tales. When he moved in, all he wanted was silence and self-expression. The first weeks went smoothly. The silence of the house inspired the horror novels Meredith wrote. But one night, when it started to get dark, strange things started to happen. Strange sounds began to come from inside the house. Meredith claimed to have heard rustlings, footsteps, and even whispers. This situation left the young woman in fear and anxiety. For several days, Meredith tried to ignore these events. However, one night, when he woke up from his sleep, he wanted to look in the mirror by his bedside and saw that there was a shadow there instead of his reflection. This shadow spoke in a thin voice, threatening that it would bring death and damnation to him. Meredith, now in fear, wanted to leave her house, but the doors and windows were suddenly locked. The temperature in the house suddenly dropped and began to cool down, and Meredith began to shiver. The house began whispering creepy messages and threats to her. After a while, he began to learn creepy facts about the house's past. The previous owners of the house had been cursed, and they had experienced similar fears. Meredith began to do research to calm the spirit of the house and calm her anger. In the middle of one night, Meredith found old diaries and ritual books in the house. According to the information he learned from these books, the terrible events that happened in the house were the result of an old devil that the past owners accidentally summoned. Meredith bravely practiced a series of rituals to drive this demon away from her house. The anger and violence that had been increasing inside the house subsided. Finally, the curse in the old house is over. However, Meredith would not forget the rest of her life with the terrifying experiences she experienced. Meredith's experiences have become a legend in the town, and the house has been abandoned once again. But this story would always be told to remind us of the terrible secrets of that old house and the dark spells of Halloween night.